Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing you a story meant to stay with you long after the last word fades. A story about silence, sacrifice, and a forgotten symbol that changed everything. Settle in, listen closely, and let every moment sink. The sandstorm had finally died down, but the air was still thick with dust and the bitter scent of blood. Deep in the shattered valleys of eastern Afghanistan, a Navy SEAL team moved cautiously through what remained of a brutal firefight. Night should have brought relief, but instead it carried the lingering echoes of gunshots. Distant cries and prayers murmured in desperation. Petty Officer Daniel Cross, the unit's combat medic, was exhausted beyond measure. Sweat and sand coated his face as he worked non-stop, tending one wounded teammate after another. Just as he prepared to move on, a sound made him freeze. It wasn't metal shifting or the wind pushing debris. It was a breath. Daniel slowly turned, scanning the wreckage through his infrared goggles. A faint heat signature glowed in the darkness, small but steady. He ran toward it with his rifle raised, his training warning him of danger while his instincts told him someone was still alive. When he reached the fallen figure, his heart skipped. It wasn't one of his men. It was a woman wearing desert-tan fatigues that didn't belong to any unit he recognized. Blood soaked her side and stitched. Over her chest was an unfamiliar emblem, a white falcon wrapped around a red cross. Daniel checked for a pulse, weak but present. As his gloved fingers brushed the emblem, a strange feeling washed over him, not fear, but something closer to recognition. He had seen that symbol before, long ago, in a faded photograph, tucked inside his father's old Bible. He pushed the thought aside. "Stay with me," he whispered. "You're going to make it." Her eyes fluttered open, gray and piercing despite the pain. "You SEAL?" she murmured. "Yeah," he replied gently. "Medic, you're safe now." She tried to lift her hand, but couldn't. "No one is safe here," she whispered before slipping back into darkness. The helicopter ride to base was tense and violent. Each thunder of the rotors made her body jerk as Daniel held her steady. Refusing to let go, his eyes kept drifting back to that strange symbol on her uniform. At the field hospital, surgeons rushed her away. Daniel paced the corridor as dawn crept across the sky. He needed answers. When he was finally called in, the commanding officer spoke in a hushed tone. "That woman you brought in, she isn't Taliban, CIA, or Allied forces. We're still trying to identify her. Intel believes she may be from a disbanded NATO humanitarian unit called the Falcon Cross." The words hit Daniel like a blow. His father had once served alongside that group. Medics, peacekeepers, healers, angels in boots. His father used to say they were wiped out in Kosovo, Daniel said quietly. "All except one." The commander raised an eyebrow. "Sounds certain?" "My father was there," Daniel replied. "He said one woman survived. Days passed, the woman remained unconscious." Every night, Daniel sat beside her bed cleaning. His gear and softly humming old Navy hymns was the only thing that quieted the noise in his mind. Then one night, her eyes opened. "Where am I?" she whispered. "You're safe," Daniel said. "A SEAL outpost. You were badly wounded, but you're going to make it." Her gaze drifted to his medic patch. "You carry the cross," she murmured. He looked down. The red cross on his uniform was almost identical to hers. "A Falcon Cross?" "Yes," she nodded weakly. "They erased us, blamed us for staying behind to save civilians when the world turned away." "What's your name?" Daniel asked softly. "Captain Elise Rains," she replied. Daniel felt his chest tighten. His father had spoken that name with reverence. Over the weeks, Elise slowly healed. Daniel brought her coffee, bandages, and quiet company. She told him about forgotten missions, about children saved under gunfire, about watching her entire team fall until she was the last one left. She carried not fear, but the weight of everyone she couldn't save. One evening she looked at him and said, "You remind me of your father. You knew him?" Daniel asked. "He was the first to call me Doc Falcon," she said with a small smile. "He told me his son would wear the cross one day." Tears burned in Daniel's eyes. He hadn't cried since his father died. Weeks later, Daniel's unit deployed again. Police wasn't cleared to go, but when the convoy was hit by an IED, Daniel saw her running through smoke and fire, dragging wounded soldiers to safety. A gunshot cracked through the chaos. She fell. Daniel caught her as blood spread across her vest. "Don't let it end here," she whispered. "You're not dying on me," he said desperately. "You carry the cross now," she murmured. "Promise me you'll keep saving them," and she was gone. Later in the silent medic tent, Daniel stitched her Falcon emblem onto his own uniform beside his medic patch. From that day on, every life he saved carried her legacy. When the war ended, Daniel opened a small clinic for veterans and refugees called Falcon Cross Medical. On the wall hung a single photo of a woman in dusty fatigues, the white falcon over her heart, because some heroes don't fight to win, they fight to save. What's left of humanity?